Have you ever stopped to ask yourself, why do people fall in love with you? What is it about you that draws certain individuals in so strongly, almost as if they can't help themselves? Is it really your personality, your appearance, or the way you carry yourself? Or could there be something far more profound unfolding beneath the surface? One of the most influential minds in psychology, Carl Jung, believed that love isn't a matter of pure chance. According to him, people are drawn to you for two powerful reasons, both of which lie deep within the human unconscious. In this episode, we'll dive into Jung's compelling insights about love, projection, and the mysterious forces of the anima and animus. What if people aren't falling for who you are on the outside, but for what you awaken within them? We're about to take a closer look at the hidden forces that shape who we're drawn to, and uncover two powerful reasons why someone might truly fall in love with you. These reasons have little to do with how you look or act on the surface, and everything to do with the deeper framework of the human psyche. Many people see love as something random, a spark that flares up out of nowhere. But for Carl Jung, attraction isn't nearly as accidental as it seems. What feels like instant chemistry often follows a quiet, unseen pattern, one guided not by coincidence, but by the unconscious mind. That powerful pull you feel? It's rarely as spontaneous as it seems. What we often mistake for instant connection is actually the outcome of unseen forces, shaped by years of inner growth, unresolved emotions, and unmet desires. Behind every sudden attraction lies a hidden structure, an internal blueprint quietly steering us towards specific people. This is where Jung introduces the powerful concept of projection. Inside each of us lies silent images, pieces of who we are, who we used to be, or who we secretly hope to become. These parts are often buried, ignored, or pushed into the shadows of our unconscious. But they don't vanish. They wait. And they find their voice through the people we encounter. When someone mirrors those forgotten parts of ourselves, we feel an almost magnetic pull toward them, something that feels unexplainable, almost magical. But what we're truly seeing in moments like this isn't the other person. It's a reflection of ourselves, mirrored back through their presence. Picture someone who has always lived cautiously, someone who guards their emotions and avoids vulnerability. When they encounter a person who is fearless, expressive, and openly authentic, they might feel irresistibly drawn in. That pull goes beyond simple admiration. It strikes a deeper chord. What they're feeling is a resonance. The other person has awakened something inside them, a part that's been silenced or buried beneath years of hesitation. The attraction is real, but it's fueled by the unconscious, responding instinctively to what it needs for growth and transformation. And this works the other way too. Someone may be drawn to you not because of what's obvious on the outside, but because you reflect something missing within them. A trait, a feeling, a way of being they've longed for without even knowing it. In that moment, you become more than a person. You become a symbol of what they've been unconsciously seeking, the piece that makes them feel more whole. The first reason someone may fall in love with you is because you reflect something they lack. It's not just the old saying that opposites attract. It's that opposites often expose hidden voids. A logical, composed person might find themselves enchanted by someone who lives through emotion. An introvert may be pulled towards someone vibrant and outgoing. Someone who thrives on structure might feel magnetized by a soul wrapped in beautiful chaos. But here's where it gets tricky. That admiration can slowly turn into emotional dependence. When a person doesn't realize that what they're drawn to in you is actually a quality they have the potential to grow within themselves, they may start to hold on to you, not out of real love, but from an unconscious need. And the moment that need evolves, or the idealized version of you begins to crack under the weight of reality, that magnetic pull can disappear. This is the shadow side of projection. It can create the illusion of connection, but illusions are fragile. And when they break, the feelings built on them tend to unravel. But Jung didn't stop his exploration there. Jung took these ideas even deeper with his theory of the anima and animus, archetypal images of the opposite gender that dwell in the unconscious mind. According to him, every man carries within his psyche a hidden feminine image, the anima. Likewise, every woman holds an inner masculine figure, the animus. These aren't just preferences or reflections of social roles. They are deeply rooted psychological patterns. These inner figures are shaped early in life, often through our relationships with caregivers, and are further molded by cultural myths, collective symbolism, and the deeper fabric of the human psyche. Over time, they form emotionally charged templates, blueprints we don't even realize we're carrying. Then, one day, we meet someone who seems to match that internal image almost perfectly. When that moment comes, the attraction can feel electric. There's often a strange familiarity to it, like you've known them your whole life, even if they've only just entered it. It can feel like fate, a soul-level recognition, or the echo of something ancient awakening inside you. But Jung would urge us to pause here. This isn't fate, and it's not proof of some preordained soulmate. What's really happening is the psyche recognizing its own inner design, mirrored in someone else. This brings us to the second reason someone might fall in love with you. You awaken a powerful unconscious image they've been carrying for years. You may not resemble this image in appearance or behavior, but something about your presence aligns with it on a deeper, emotional level. You trigger a familiar pattern within them, one that's been silently waiting to be activated. That's why the connection can feel so intense, so instant, and completely irrational. It's not truly about you. It's about what you represent in their inner world. But here's the catch. When someone falls in love with a projection of an inner figure cast onto you, they're not really seeing you at all. What they're really seeing isn't you. It's a fantasy, an idealized vision, a psychological creation. You become the surface onto which a long-standing inner image is projected. This script was written deep within them, long before you ever entered the scene. But then, the real you starts to show, your imperfections, your contradictions, your deeply human nature. And slowly, the fantasy begins to unravel. What once felt heavenly becomes confusing. What seemed flawless now appears tangled and uncertain. Tension builds. Disappointment sets in. The illusion starts to collapse under the sheer weight of reality. This is why so many passionate love stories begin like fire and end in ashes. They weren't grounded in true connection, but in unconscious projection. It was an archetype acting out its role on the stage of real life, and no living person can wear that mask forever. Before we move forward, I hope this exploration is resonating with you. If it speaks to something within, consider sharing it with someone who might need to hear these words too. It could mean more than you think. Now, let's keep going. Even though projection can bring confusion and heartbreak, Jung didn't view it as a mistake. In fact, he saw it as a necessary step in our evolution. Love, in his view, isn't just about emotion, it's a powerful instrument of transformation. Every person we fall for becomes a kind of mirror, and what we recognize in them often points directly to something within ourselves. Some people reflect our hidden potential. Others reveal the fears we try to avoid. Some stir our creative fire, while others awaken the insecurities we buried. But no matter how different they seem, every person we fall for serves the same deeper purpose: to push us forward on the path of individuation, the lifelong journey of becoming whole. When someone falls in love with you, they may feel like they've discovered something magical. And in a way, they have. But the real magic isn't in you. It's in what you stir awake within them. You become more than just a person. You become a symbol, a turning point, a psychological invitation to grow. And the same applies in reverse. The people you've loved, especially the ones who shook your world, who changed your direction, or even broke your heart, they weren't just random encounters. They were carriers of meaning, catalysts for your inner evolution. Some arrive to awaken what's been asleep inside you. Others come to teach lessons you've resisted. And some are simply mirrors, reflecting you back to yourself, sometimes with clarity, other times through distortion, depending on how willing you are to truly see. Not every relationship is meant to last. Some come into our lives to disrupt old patterns, to stir the waters, to create necessary change. Jung called these encounters synchronistic, moments that may not follow logical cause and effect, yet carry undeniable meaning. When someone enters your life at exactly the right time and sparks intense emotion, it's likely not a coincidence. It means that something within you, and within them, was ready. The connection itself is proof that transformation had already begun. These aren't accidents, not even the painful ones. Especially not those. The ones that leave a mark often carry the most wisdom. So why do people fall in love with you? Because you either mirror something they deeply lack, or you awaken something precious they've forgotten. And in both cases, the love isn't truly about you. It's about their own soul, striving to grow. And the same goes for you. You fall for those who reflect the parts of you that are missing, those who match your inner images, who unknowingly carry the key to your next chapter of growth. But if you don't recognize these deeper patterns, you may find yourself stuck in a loop, drawn to the same types, replaying the same stories, chasing illusions disguised as love. You might think you're simply unlucky in relationships, when in truth, your unconscious is trying to teach you something you haven't yet been willing, or ready, to see. Jung believed the way forward is awareness. When you begin to understand your projections, your inner figures, your repeating emotional patterns, you stop searching for someone else to make you feel whole. Because that wholeness begins within you. And from that space of awareness, love begins to change. It's no longer rooted in fantasy or driven by fear. It becomes something authentic, grounded, and liberating. Because in the end, the truest love isn't about finding someone flawless. It's about awakening the forgotten pieces of yourself that have been quietly waiting to be seen. You don't just fall in love with another person. You fall in love with the version of yourself they help bring to life. Seeing love through Jung's eyes reminds us that it's never only about the other. It's always, at its core, a journey home to the self. So the next time someone is drawn to you, or you feel that deep, magnetic pull toward another, pause and ask, what part of my soul is being stirred awake right now? If this reflection resonates with you, take a moment to think about the love stories that have shaped your path. Each one may have been leading you back to yourself.